Many consider him to be the leader of the Democratic Party politics of the Commonwealth. He is their treasurer, Steve Grossman. Welcome, Steve. Great to have you here.
Tom, thanks for having me on.
When you look at this good news, I want to first talk about a New York City item. Bring up the number, and this goes to Steve Grossman, Ace Fundraiser. Here is the president with 60 tickets over at Ralph Schlostein's house, and we bring it up here. The number's $35,800 per ticket for President Obama's New York fundraiser. Thanks to Hans Nichols and Margaret Tilleff for that. You look at this, Steve, you got to go out and raise money, and you got to go out and raise money from people that are very wealthy and successful, and then you go after the mega rich in the Rose Garden as well. How do you do both sides of that as a power fundraiser?
I think you let people know that the president's policies, balanced as they are the ticket for long-term prosperity in this country. I mean, wealthy people get wealthier if the policies are ones that are aligned with national interests. And when there's gridlock in Washington and inability to get things done, that creates a crisis of confidence, and it spills over into the marketplaces, both financial and business. And as a business person all my life, I saw it. My boys who run the business now see it directly. So prosperity is all based on what business people crave, which is predictability and stability. And that's not what we have in Washington now. It's predictably probably something that's going to last right through the election, but it's a difficult thing to deal with. And
right.
My friends who are wealthy, I urge them to think about, listen to what the president said, and try to align a balanced, fair approach.
Good news. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts has a credit upgrade to AA+. I would suggest this took political courage, which Alberto Alesina talks about at Harvard. Where is the political courage? What political courage occurred in Massachusetts to get this rating upgrade?
I think two things, Tom. First, we passed municipal health reform earlier this year to save $100 million for our cities and towns. Not an easy thing to do. Obviously, conflicts out there between those who would like it to stay the same and those who know that we can't afford it. And pension reform is the second piece. We're halfway through that. The state Senate has passed pension reform that will save the Commonwealth and cities and towns over $5 billion. Yet to pass the House, but I think S&P, Standard & Poor's, gave us the upgrade based on a perception that we were willing to make the tough decisions, putting surpluses into the stabilization fund. We're one of only 4 states in the country, Alaska, Texas, and New York are the other 3, that actually has over $1 billion in our stabilization fund at the end of fiscal 11. Putting money aside for the rainy day, pension reform, health care reform,
right.
The kinds of things that we're doing here as a team, not political gridlock, but political progress.
That's where I wanted to go, Steve Grossman. Your good adversary, the former governor of the state, Mitt Romney, has come out with 59 items. Are there any items in there that you think make common sense? Has Governor Romney come up with some ideas you could work with if he's elected president?
You know, I haven't looked through them in detail, but if incorporated in his recommendations are a significant effort to refund and to put money to work in the SBA and the Small Business Administration, then I would support that regardless of whether it came from a Republican or a Democrat. I mean, if you think about the stimulus all the way back in '09, and $750 million of that big package went to the SBA, 90% loan guarantees, waiver of fees, spawned a lot of credit to small businesses. What do small businesses need now? What do they crave? They crave credit. So if Mitt Romney is proposing expansion of credit for small businesses, I'd support that no matter where it came from.
Steve, I got 30 seconds left. Please explain the Boston Red Sox. Please, would you please explain the Red Sox? Explain this.
The Red Sox swooned in September. They're back. They scored 18 runs and 20 hits last night, and I predict they finish the season strong. They make the playoffs as the wild card team, and watch out, New York Yankees. We're coming after you.
Very good. Steve Grossman, thank you so much. Good news.
Thank you, Tom.
It's such a joy to have a good news story about economics, a credit upgrade and an ample rainy day fund out of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.